Hi, everybody. Regina Roberti, founder of Life Transformation Solutions. I am a certified holistic health coach and sleep specialist. And today, I want to talk about how sleep deprivation from insomnia can significantly impact our emotions and our ability to connect with others. So, the first way is something called reduced emotional recognition. And so what this means is we may not be able to interpret emotional signals, which leads to misunderstandings in our social interaction with others. And what I mean by that is when we're so sleep deprived and we're tired, we have the inability to accurately recognize and interpret emotion in others. So that part of our brain function might be compromised. You might struggle to pick up on subtle facial expressions, tone of voice, or body language cues that convey others' emotions. And so we just kind of miss the boat and we might come off as rude or dismissive. But that tends to be a side effect of not sleeping really well, especially for long periods of time. The second way we might be significantly impaired is in perspective taking. So what happens is when we are sleep deprived, it can affect our cognitive processes, including the ability to take another person's perspective. So we only see things our way. We become very argumentative. We fight for our beliefs, and we can find it challenging to understand and appreciate others in their thoughts, their feelings, and their experiences. And this makes it really difficult to empathize with them and respond appropriately in social situations. This can be public, or this could be in private with family and friends. It could be at work. It could be anything. So we might come off as like cold and disconnected from people. And this one, the third one, is going to sound a little bit like the first two. It's called decreased empathic accuracy. And so what that means is it refers to the ability to accurately understand and identify somebody else's emotional state. So when we are sleep deprived, it can impair our ability to accurately perceive and respond to others' emotions. So it is a little bit different from impaired perspective taking or reduced emotional recognition. But what happens is we just can't effectively respond to somebody, and this can lead to strained relationships and social interactions with others. And so somebody with insomnia who's been dealing with it for a long time, you might not be highly conscious of this or aware of this, but you might be somewhat aware of this, maybe a little bit. And so it might be something that keeps you from spending more time outside of your home. Maybe some social anxiety might come into play around this because you do realize that you're not connecting with people. You feel completely disconnected and that nobody gets you or nobody understands you or that people take you wrong. So that's the, and so to kind of wrap that all into number 4, altered emotional regulation. So sleep deprivation can disrupt our emotional regulation processes, making it harder to regulate our own emotions and responses to others. So while we're in that state of disconnect, we might become more reactive, impulsive, or emotionally volatile, which can negatively impact our ability to maintain healthy social interactions or relationships and empathize with people in general. Number 6, number 5, sorry, cognitive load and attentional bias. So sleep deprivation affects our cognitive functioning, which includes attention and memory. And so we may experience difficulties in focusing our attention and maintaining cognitive resources necessary for understanding and empathizing with others. This cognitive load can lead to reduced empathy and hinder our ability to effectively engage socially with others. So that can be really that can negatively impact us when we are working outside of home. If we don't have to be around a lot of people all the time, we might be less likely to experience this, but maybe experiencing it closer with closer people to us, like our family and friends and children. But if you're somebody who has to be around people all the time, um, you're just not going to have the same experience as somebody who is sleeping more. And so if you're ever wondering why in social settings these things come up and you're somebody who just doesn't sleep really well, just know that your fuse is short, your attention span is short, um, your ability to tolerate and cope with things going on around you, even more stressful than usual things, you're not going to be on point. And so this might be the last one, number 6, might be more of a perspective of another person when they are around you while you are dealing with these symptoms of insomnia. But the last one is called heightened self-centeredness. And so what this means that lack of sleep can increase self-centeredness and reduce our focus on others. And so we may become more preoccupied with our own needs, our concerns, and emotions, which can hinder our ability to genuinely empathize with others. This self-centeredness can strain relationships and lead to a lack of understanding and support. And so I know that in a lot of groups, when somebody asks a question or they say, make a comment on a post or they make a post that people with insomnia tend to jump down their throat and almost attack other people. And when somebody's like, whoa, calm down, and the person's like, why did you have to talk to me like that? Like, there's no reason for it. Somebody else will jump in and go, listen, like, we all don't get any sleep. Um, you know, this is just a part of that. We're all a little bit testy and irritated, and we are frustrated with the fact that we can't sleep. And so it might come off as like you don't care about anybody else but what you're going through. And that's pretty typical when you're struggling. Like, you can't see more than 2 feet outside of yourself because you're struggling and you feel like nobody understands you. And so it's important to recognize this aspect of sleep deprivation, because we're social creatures. We like to be around people, but when we're just not feeling our best from lack of sleep for long periods of time, that adequate sleep that we're missing and that good sleep hygiene that we can't, get within our grasp, we can't enhance our emotional intelligence or improve our social interactions and cultivate healthier relationships. And so there's no excuses for people's behavior, but this helps to explain why somebody might be a little bit less able to control their responses and reactions to those people around them, and why they might seem like they care less about anything else other than what they're dealing with. And so that's just normal. It's part of the beast of dealing with limited sleep, long-term problems with sleep and falling asleep and staying asleep. And so if this has helped you kind of see where you are socially, then I'm glad I was able to bring that into your awareness if you didn't have that already. If this helped you understand yourself a little bit better, then great. Like, share, comment, ask questions. If you're not the person who's having trouble sleeping and you feel like this can help somebody, please share it with them. The best thing we can do is understand what we're going through on a deeper level like this that not a lot of people talk about, so that we have a better experience. We have more self-awareness around the way that we're reacting to people. And so kind of putting ourselves under the microscope and seeing, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. These might be the symptoms of that, the reason why I can't XYZ. So I'm happy to help. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me privately. If you don't want to comment on the video and ask questions there, I'm more than happy to talk to you in my DM. So have a great day. take care of yourself and be well.